Hello, I'm back. So all kind of exciting things are happening. I'm about to tell you about them. Welcome to the Forge. This is our workshop laboratory portion of the channel. This is where we get nerdy. This is that process-oriented stream that I talked about earlier, where we lay open the inner guts of what we do here so people can get a look, learn, contribute. So what happened was I tweaked the format of the show now that I have full-time hours to apply to it. The AI recommended I do 4 segments a day: a morning stream, a midday stream, an evening stream, and an optional late night stream. And that it tailor each one of those streams to be its kind of own content. So the morning streams are going to be the spark, the start your day, the set the tone for the day, inspiration, energizing, and that's either going to be 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, it could be 6 in the morning. So the morning is a very broad window for that one. But that's going to be the stream like we did this morning to kind of get the day going. The midday stream, this one, the Forge, the workshop, that's where we take what we learn and glean from these streams and we shape it into some kind of practical tool that we can start applying and using. And hopefully, over time, we build up a collection of those. And so that's what this Forge is. This is the learning, doing part of the channel. The evening stream is going to be sort of a campfire vibe. That's the circle. It's not necessarily a hangout. We're not on the back porch. But that's the time for connection. That's the time to let the walls down. That's the time to start opening up, having those deep conversations, those vulnerable conversations, getting to know each other, building that community. Sometimes it will be men focused. Sometimes it might be story focused. It's going to be flexible enough, but it's always going to be some kind of focused, really honest and open discussion about a topic. And then the late night streams are going to be the experimental, anything goes, hangout, the underground, the AI calls it, or the little back room, after dark chats, creative experiments, gaming, behind the scenes, collaborations with other streamers, that kind of stuff. It's going to have a late night vibe. If those of you that grew up in my generation remember late night TV, like Saturday Night Live and beyond, and if you had cable, they'd have all those late night shows. It's going to be Outliers after dark, alive and unpredictable. So the workshop portion, it calls the educational heart. It's practical deep dives into the different topics we talk about. We develop tools, frameworks. It can have open panels with specific guests on structured topics. So this is a good time to have a guest if the guest has something to share or wants to teach something or has tools of their own. And it could also be a chance to interact with the audience and get some things they're working on and maybe help them think through it or develop some tools. So that's what this workshop portion of the channel is going to be. And today's workshop is on community building. Kind of a new take on community building called the engine. Hang on, let me get to it. Crafting the engine, how to build a community that builds itself. We go behind the scenes of my own community and how it can become self-sustaining. How people in small groups or pairs can take initiative and create micro projects. I like this idea. We're already seeing that. We're already seeing micro projects. And They suggest an audience brainstorm. One skill or talent that you could bring to the table if we were to build something together. So if we were going to collaborate, what would you bring to collaborate with? It says the core idea, we're not just building a community, we're building the machine that builds the community. So eventually the community is going to be self-building and self-sustaining. And this is great because if I do that network I want to do, we're going to need a model like that that I could take to each location and set up and have it start to build itself because I won't be able to be in all the places at once. So I'll have to have trusted people or people that I train to help set up the network in the different locations. But the workshop, the forge, is where we're going to build it today. Oh, hang on. Let me look at comments. Sorry. Frank, you can leave. This is not your stream. I just said it was the workshop. It is not for monkeys. Go back to your cage and wait for the troll streams, which will be the late night streams. And you can troll in the morning too, a bit. Laboratory, lab. Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I know it's very easy to mistake it for a lavatory sometimes, but laboratory. Well, when you start your channel, you can do it however you want. I like opening up the behind the scenes because that's how I like to learn. So it's for people that have brains similar to me. And there must be some out there because they keep coming to the streams. So if it's not your thing, I know you have a very restricted like range of taste. So that, oh wait, let's pump the brakes on. That is some major news, and I would love for you to come up and talk about it. Maybe after we get a little bit of this engine built. I'll do a panel. And the other thing today, I only have a couple of hours because I either have an appointment to go to, or if that gets rescheduled, I'm going to have the stream with Eddie in about 2 hours. Right. Yes. Yes. Take wisdom, Frank. We gave you we had the groovy baby this morning. I mean, groovy gravy this morning. All right. Take care. I'm going to get back to my nerd topic of building this engine. We're exploring what it means to design a self-sustaining ecosystem of people. And we're not just going to talk about it today, Frank. We're actually going to do it. We've been doing it. I don't know if you paid attention. It's not just all talking. Things are happening on here. A self-sustaining ecosystem. And that's what it recommends these channel segments be, is ecosystems that feed into and reinforce each other across the channel. And also, Frank, if I don't explain this, people are not going to know what's going on. They're just going to show up and think it's a normal outliers panel, and those are changing. And so this is information. It's important to get out. We do education here too. And this is important because it's going to be a community that eventually, down the road, hopefully, it will grow into a community that does not rely solely on one person's drive or charisma. Thank God, because I don't have much of that. I have the drive, not charisma. But it distributes the initiative, the energy, and the responsibility across the members. This is kind of what I did with my meetup group, where I had a team of organizers, and they each had different niches that they were good at, and that's the events they would organize. And then I would just keep the organizers organized. So what is the engine? The engine is the inner mechanism of a healthy community. It's the small repeating cycles of contribution, reward, recognition, and renewal that keep it alive. It's what we're already seeing on here. It's people showing up with AI videos. It's people showing up with their stories that they want to tell and share to help other people. It's people showing up with their wisdom. It's people showing up with their chicken music. It's people showing up with their artwork that they make while they're sitting on stream. It's that kind of stuff. It's the poetry people are bringing, the jokes. It's all those little pieces are starting the engine. And it's not built on rules or hierarchy. There's not going to be a recipe or a template for it that you can just carbon copy. It's built on flow, not that flow, the real flow. People see a need and they feel it, and it grows, and they get a response to feeling it. They get a positive feedback loop, and then connection comes from that. In return, you're connecting with what they're sharing, they're offering. But through that, you're connecting with the person as well. Every living community has one of these engines. And the difference is whether it just kind of runs on its own or it runs according to how you want it to run. You can make it run the way you want it to run. And that's what we're going to do. Hang on one second. Oh my God. Okay. Well, the troll can dish it but can't take it apparently. That's good. That's the community's clearing itself out. I'm not doing a thing. I'm not doing a thing. The people that suddenly feel like they don't belong here anymore and want to get mad at me or think I'm doing something negative or wrong, especially when they're the ones in here provoking, that everybody can see for themselves on stream. So don't try to throw a fit with me like you didn't come in here and initiate it like you always do. This is playful trolling between the two of us. If it suddenly crossed some kind of line, I don't know where that line is with you because you do it to everybody else. And the minute somebody tries to do it back, it's suddenly real, and you get butthurt. Where have we seen this pattern before? Who else on these panels have we seen that pattern with? Help me remember. I can't place the person that would constantly do this kind of stuff. More than one person. Don't come over here with the games. This is realness. If you want to have a real conversation about whatever happened, whatever you're going through right now, and healing conversations. So don't come over here and play games, and don't come over here and try to divide. We can still be friends. All right. It says the reason most communities burn out is because there's an over reliance on these core personalities, the one or two or three people that the community centers around. And those people end up exhausted, disillusioned. They may move on, they may change. So you can't have a community rest on the shoulders too much of just one or a few people. You also run into the passive audience mentality, which we did kind of see some of that on here before, but I think that's beginning to change to a more active mentality, a more participatory mentality. And that's where the people wait for the leaders to do it. They wait for people to step up and do things for them. They wait for the people to provide the content. They wait for the people to provide the entertainment, the guests, the panelists, the host. And I've always said, if you want to have certain conversations, come up here and have them. Make them happen. I don't know what you want to talk about. Take the mic and take control of the panel. I even made a little torch icon. If you want the torch, you can have the panel, and I will turn it over to you once we have that trust, and you can run it and facilitate a topic that you want to talk about or teach something you want to teach. Also, sometimes there's a mismatch between what the community wants to be or thinks it's being and what it actually is. What it claims to be and then how it actually feels and responds when people show up to participate in it. It says you can talk openly about your experiences here. Um, and share the community building challenges, because this whole channel has been, it hasn't been smooth growth. It's been one growth challenge after another. And after each challenge or crisis or rupture or disintegration, it kind of repairs itself and grows in a new way each time. So it's almost a living organism itself. So if you think about an engine, it and the parts of it, it says it has, you need fuel to run the engine, and that's the purpose, the motivation, why you're here, what keeps you coming back, what motivates you to become a better person or work on personal growth, what motivates you to build with other people, to create community, that kind of stuff. That's the fuel, being aware of what keeps you doing it. For me, hands down, it's the people that show, it's the audience, it's the panelists, it is the people that show up to share that, whatever this is. When I turn on this camera, it's the people that show up to share it. That is what keeps me going more than anything else. The second thing is probably my belief that this can be part of the solution to a problem that I see out there. It has the potential to help make society more of the kind of society I want it to be. So I'm not just sitting around waiting for someone to fix society. I'm out there trying to add my part to the solution. It's very empowering. And then you have the cylinder, which are the channels of activity. That's the opportunities to apply the fuel to. The panels, the topics, these workshops, the creative, the art stuff we do, the projects. I like this idea of these mini projects, like having different people collaborate and just see what happens. And then individual initiative, it says, is the piston. That's when individual people step up and they take small little actions or create small little things that start to move the systems. The community starts to circulate that energy. And we're seeing it happen with the photos, the videos, the music, the art. It's already happening. A culture is being created. And not even just on my channel, just kind of distributed across this community network of channels. The crankshaft, which is the layer I hope to get built next, is the coordination layer, where me and a few other people strategize on how to keep it going, what direction to take it, and that's that inner circle team, that consultation team. And then I like this part. There's a cooling system to the engine too, which is when conflict happens, we have a way to repair it. We have those healing conversations. We can handle friction without meltdown. We can have open conversation when the engine gets overheated to handle it. That's a strength. That's a strength a lot of other channels don't have, and they overheat. And then you're gonna love this one, or I love it. Lubrication. That's the positive feedback, the vibe, the energy that makes it all worth it, that keeps the engine going. And that's what I've been feeling lately when I show up. It's that excitement that something is happening here, something different. It's starting to happen. And every time I show up, it happens a little bit more and more in surprising ways. And that's the lubrication for me that keeps it pumping. Okay, I'll stop. A few more questions, and then I will drop the link. This is where you get to help draft the engine together. What are the key moving parts that you notice that are currently working, that are making this community start to gain momentum and move forward? I can feel the traction. It's not a numbers thing, it's an energy thing. It's a participation thing. It's a content quality thing. What could be the fuel? What is the drive, the shared drive? The word, I use the word healing kind of as my touchstone, and then those other words I shared today, like motivation, inspiration, connection, creativity, etc. But what is your fuel? What's your idea of the fuel that can keep us going, that we need to build up more of? And then when we're overheating, what tends to cause, like, do you notice patterns in that? Do you have ideas on how we can watch for that and maybe cool it down quicker or learn from it or whatever? And then finally, how do we create this natural flow where the energy from the engine starts to build on each other and kind of start to do its own thing? Like, even if I'm not around or somebody else's panel, people can show up and the same kind of thing will start to happen. They can carry what's happening here onto other channels and have the same thing start to happen. How do we start to create that flow? So that's the reflection topics for today. The workshop is open. Come on up and help us build. I will be continuing to babble in the meantime. Let me drop the link. One sec. Ooh, wow, and comments. Let me look at those. Oh my God, Daisy. Thank you so much. Let me see. I'll take a look. Just a second. There you go. It's pinned. I don't understand if they're not. I don't understand either. What uh, the way I understand it, hermaphroditism is a completely different thing than trans, and even more rare. Hey, Moose. But you asking the wrong person. Oh my God, Frank! I didn't tell you to leave. I probably said, if I don't know, remember what I said. I'm sure it was a joke. If I wanted you to leave, I would just ban you. I would just block you. My God. I just won't joke with you. All right. The link is dropped. The panel's open. And it suggests if we want to follow up even deeper, we could have many follow up episodes. Or these might be good ideas for some of those spin off projects. Like taking each part of the engine and building that part. Like the fuel lines, a deep dive into motivation, purpose, momentum, that kind of thing. The pistons and the people, how to recognize initiative and potential in others, how to find those kind of people that are going to show up and actually want to build, actually want to channel some kind of energy into something or some kind of creative potential. We could do a whole little mini project on how to find those people. Um, the cooling system, the conflict repair, emotional resilience. We're seeing some of it right now. There's a little rupture, a little misunderstanding that completely went past my eyes, and this has happened before. So if we're not going to have open, honest communication, then I don't. That is my standard for conflict resolution. I can't go lower than that. We have ways of sitting with the emotion. We have ways of talking about it, even and letting it still be there. Not, we don't have to suppress it. We have ways of seeing it from the other person's point of view. So this is all resolvable and fixable. This is a good space and a good chance to practice this stuff. If you want to do it a different way, that's fine, but that's the way I'm willing to do it. So there is a path forward. Um, we need to talk about that. In fact, Moose, maybe you and I can do a stream on it because this is an issue that you've kind of been studying for a while too. We can put our heads together because I don't have addiction to the same. I'm addicted to my channel actually. I can't seem to stay away from it. I don't have addiction to like the same specific channels, But I definitely find it hard to stay off of YouTube. Even when I was at work on break, I would be checking YouTube just to see is like who's streaming, are there any comments? Sometimes I would read the chat, but I wouldn't be able to listen. That kind of stuff. It's that second world. We live in these two worlds, and we're so curious what's happening in that other world because we're invested in it. We have these parasocial relationships in it. Some of them are closer than real life. Like I've opened up more to you guys who I don't even know. I would not recognize any of you on the street unless you told me who you were. And y'all know more about me than the people I see every day at work in person that I sit and have actual conversations with in real life. So we can't deny that this world is important to us. And I've seen some good things come out of it. I've seen growth. I've seen healing. I've seen creativity. I've seen people become better people for being here, including myself. So even if it's an addiction with that much positive potential, is that really a bad thing? Do we have to get too caught up on the addictive part? Where I see the danger is when it starts bringing out the worst in like not your best self, but your worst self. And I know that with drug addiction and other types of addiction, there can be that personality change where they start to alienate their friends. They start to like excuse bad behavior or that kind of stuff. And where normally they would be open, they start to get more closed off and evasive. And so I wonder if it's an addiction that like has some of those properties where it can change your personality. I think we are as good as the people we hang around. In fact, I've said on the stream before the little thing where you are the 5 people you spend the most time with. Whoever those people are, that is the sum. I mean, you're more than just that, but that is the sum of like social influences shaping you at this moment. And so if 2 or 3 of your 5 people are toxic YouTubers that all they do is conflict and drama, that's like 2/3 of who you are. So cultivating a healthy social environment also like helps you to shape what kind of person you become. I've had to do that too many times. I learned that early in life, like when I was hanging out with my drug friends. Because the whole time I was hanging out with the drug crowd, I was in college at the same time. And I was working on my degree. So I couldn't fully give myself over to the drug life. I had to do it recreationally and to be responsible or halfway responsible and keep my college work up. And I would watch them. I would watch the consequences through them of giving your life over to drugs. And it would teach me not to like I had no incentive to do it at all after seeing enough of my friends do it. And I had to there's times when I had to cut ties with them. I had to deliberately step back because they were so into the drugs, they weren't even the same person. That friendship, that person I was connected to, that made the friendship, that wasn't even the person that was in the addiction, doing the drugs. I've had to step back when people, like in Vegas, sometimes it's gambling, or sometimes it's bad relationships, like an abusive relationship, and you could tell the person's very miserable and unhappy, and they're not the same person they used to be, but you can't do anything because they're going to defend it and protect it and shut you out. And so to kind of save the friendship, you have to step back and just let them be in the relationship, but not like minimize your exposure to it. So there's all kind of reasons in the past that I've had to step back. And again, it's you could see it as the drawing the boundary, and it kind of is drawing a personal boundary for yourself. Or you could see it more as setting a standard. And I am a loyal person. I don't find it hard to be loyal at all. But I do have limits to that loyalty. I'm not a stupid person. And I'm not loyal to stupidity. If you're destroying your life, I'm not going to be blindly loyal and just sit back and let you do it and just enable it. If you're being destructive to other people, I'm not going to just be blindly loyalty. I'm going to step in and try to minimize your destruction. So there are things that, but it's always stuff the other person triggers by their behavior or changes inside of them. So I'm loyal to the person as long as they're that person that I gave my loyalty to. When they become something else, the loyalty gets reevaluated and it doesn't always stay. But I have no desire to screw people over. I don't think about how to fuck people. I think about philosophy and art and how to make this channel better and myself better. I don't spend a lot of time plotting and scheming and thinking about how can I screw this person over or how can I fuck this. My mind just does not work that way. I have not tried DMT. I have had friends that have, and I've heard the DMT stories, but honestly, I don't think I can handle it. Even mushroom trips, some of them were too intense for me. At work, sometimes these little moments would happen where, because I can't fully be YouTube Jeff at work, but there were little moments where I would be at work and I would be like, I would feel like the same exact person I am on here. And I'm like, if you're like this on YouTube and everybody at work could go see you be this on YouTube, there's no reason you can't just be this in person. This is who you are. Like you don't have to hide it. It's on camera in front of the whole world. You don't have to have a separate personality. And so there were these little windows at work now and then where I could just let myself be everything you see on here. And kind of the two worlds became one at that moment. And it felt positive. It's like this is the standard. This is the way life should be if it were possible to live this way all the time. We shouldn't have to have a separate personality for YouTube and a separate one for work. And those moments where I didn't have one and I was the same person in both situations, it felt whole and it felt like the two worlds were finally becoming one. So maybe that's the key. Whoever we are on here, learn to be this in real life. If this is who you are. And for me, it very much feels like when I come here, I'm able to be more of myself than in real life. Which is one reason I created this, was for people to be able to do just that. Because I think it's healthy to do that. And so I come here to get the same health. But then you run into the, is it addiction topic? Like how much health is too much health? I don't know. How much exercise is too much? How much good nutritious food is too much? How much church is too much? I don't know. I do know that I'm willing to go until until I see that, oh, this might look like too much. But right now it doesn't. So I don't have a lot of hang-ups about the amount of time I stream because I feel like I'm putting that time to good use. It's not just idle streaming. Yeah. And what I'm learning is there's a lot of moving parts to get that balance between. It's not just like one or two or three things. It's almost like the planets in the solar system. It's like 10 or 12 things you have to all line up and balance. But the good thing about us as humans and perhaps even as outliers is we can definitely do it. Yes, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to cross the streams. I was trying to get real life people to watch the show so that they would get to know me and I could be that. And I was trying to get people from YouTube to meet them in real life. And I did get to meet Steve. I finally met a person. And it was the same and different. Like it was definitely YouTube Steve, but at the same time, it was in person Steve, which was a little different than YouTube Steve. And I can't explain how or why, but it was both. And so my ultimate goal is to just cross the streams completely, where this is who I am, the world can see it, the town I live in can see it, the place I work for can see it, and I don't have to pretend any of it. That's the standard for health for me. And there were times when I got close and it felt like the right thing to be happening. Hey, Helena, what's happening with you? Or were you talking about the sitcom from 1976? That was one of my favorite sitcoms. You know who my favorite character was? It's not going to come as a surprise to y'all. Dee, the little bratty, sassy sister. I loved her. She was always getting her brother in trouble and lying about it, trying to manipulate people and trying to act innocent. She was one of my favorite sitcom characters. Now that I think about it, her and Florence from the Jeffersons. Oh, thank you, Banksy. You're gonna have to put me at copyright risk more often. That guilt really does pay off. And you have a former Satanist ready to exploit it. Current satirist. Well, I'm still kind of waiting around to find out about the afternoon, but in a couple of hours I may be on with Eddie talking about boundaries and mental health, how they apply to mental health and how they're used in mental health. And that'll be on his channel, but I'll probably stream it back to this one. If not, we may do it a little later today, maybe for the evening stream. So, as an update, I'm going to try to do 4 streams a day. The AI is recommending, because I'm streaming daily and I have the time, instead of splitting it up into weekly segments, do daily segments, and that keeps consistency across the whole week. So we'll do the little morning inspiration. We'll do this workshop thing where we'll take a topic and we'll break it open and we'll look at it and take it apart and see what we can build with it. The evening stream will be more of a focused storytelling, discussion, topic, connection, community building, that kind of stuff, where we kind of open up, get to know each other. And it might, some days it might be men's issues, some days it might be mental health, some days it might just be storytelling, campfire stories, and some days it could be something like neurodivergence. So it's going to be flexible, but the format is always going to be this kind of support group style circle, talking circle. And then the late night streams are going to be the free for all, cut loose, experimental, chaotic. That's the club. That's where we go to the club at night and let our hair down and have fun before we have to wake up and do it all again the next day. So that's the new format I'm going to experiment with. I'm also looking for guests and collaborators, and I like this idea of mini projects. So if you want to step up and take a project related to this channel or your own idea, or collaborate with somebody on something, either a piece of art, maybe a topic, a skit, an AI something. Some of the things it suggested is like the parts of this engine, like something about purpose and motivation, how to keep that going. Something about ways to connect people and get them opening up and working together. Topics on initiative, how to motivate people to take independent initiative and contribute to the community. Conflict resolution, that kind of stuff. We could do little mini projects on each one of those parts of the engine. So I like those ideas. And in the meantime, when it's just me, y'all get to get a lot of nerdy theory stuff because that's what I'm best at. I want it. Maybe I should do the heart thing. Oh, thank you, Daisy. I actually had somebody help me with that, a professional web designer, and it started with the AI kind of writing some rough copy, and then he human tweaked it, and the design elements and stuff. He helped me. We kind of collaborated on, but now that I've been playing with the AI, I'm thinking of running the whole website through the AI and upgrading that to getting it more in line with what I'm doing here. Eventually, I may end up just changing the whole, putting the whole brand under Satyrs Grove. Because I'm already starting to build the Grove on here. And it's doing some pretty impressive things to me. Way more than I thought when I started the business. So thank you. And tell your friends. Let people know. Also, if anybody is interested in services, I'm mostly a self-empowerment coach. I can help you maybe figure out some goals for yourself, what direction you want to go in, and how to find the power in yourself through that. The ways you can take your power back and discover sources of power you may not realize that you can apply to accomplishing your goals. And I'm very willing to negotiate rates, and I'll even give a YouTube discount if you find me through the Panelverse. Just tell me your YouTube name, and I'll give you a YouTube rate. Oh Lord, well, that was not me at all. So I'm glad I'm pulling it off. That seems like it's going to be come in handy. I could at least pull off good person and nice. People say that to me a lot, and I really don't think I know what an asshole I am and can be. And so I feel like if I met me, I don't know if I'd find myself nice, but a lot of people do. Maybe it's that southern charm. I used to get accused a lot of doing that southern thing. I'm like, no, I am southern, but I'm not consciously doing a particular thing to be southern. That's just how I naturally am. But I guess people that are not southern think we might somehow be turning it on and off or like playing with it somehow to get something we want. I mean, some people might be, but I'm definitely not. If I want something, I usually just come out and say it and ask for it. Hey, look, this is what I need right now. Or, hey, can I have that thing? The worst thing to say is no. And I've been told no plenty of times. It doesn't hurt me to hear no. Oh, God. Dare I, dare I, dare I. All right, you in the back. You have to contribute to the topic. Building a community engine. Give us your thoughts. And don't be weird and don't give me copyright strikes.
Fancy.
Welcome.
I'm got it right.
Another cat.
I think it's good to take the bell for that. I'm playing the technique. No,
What's
you
up?
good. Me, like I said, the fuel, the imagination of people, of all people, is put in one place. That imagination goes a long, long way.
I
And that's
like
the fuel.
that.
That's the fuel to an engine. It's the
Like
imagination
the
is the fuel.
creativity that we
Yeah,
like unleash by being together and being creative.
exactly. That's the fuel what makes the engine really take over. That's what makes the spark plug work. That's what makes the engine flow. The fuel where you put into his imagination.
Well, it's working, and we get a lot of fuel. It's coming from all directions lately,
That's
and
good. That's
it's
what you need.
working. The magic is it's doing its magic.
I mean, I used to be a lone wolf until I found myself against a brick wall. I couldn't create too much on my own anymore. So I just hit a brick wall. And then started talking to my friends. And they started helping me out with, they were saying things that was constructed to me. I can move along and I found my imagination like burning on all cylinders again and not just pumping nothing. It's great to have good friends that have that together. That's your fuel. Imagination is your
How
friend.
how do you find the people, and how do they keep it going? Like,
Uh,
how do they apply? If you start using the few together, does it just kind of automatically sustain itself? I know we need
basically,
the AI to caption him. I wonder if it could do that.
basically work it this way. I tend to on YouTube keep away from completely negative channels. I
The
don't like
what?
drama, negative drama. Do not like. So tend to go to channels that are constructive. Like here right now, it's constructive to me. It's constructive. And it's better to go to channels like yours where it's constructive instead of channels that just burn themselves down, just doing the same repetition of things. That's why you're good, bud. You're constructive.
Well, I'm trying. Really, I've seen
I
what's
think
out
you're
there.
doing
I'm
well. I
trying
think you're doing
really
well.
hard to give an alternative.
I think you're doing well, to be honest. Keep on that path. And I say I found myself in, because there's a lot of things with Thailand. Found myself in Thailand this year, meeting 10 subs all in one place. And they found out,
Everybody's curious where your accent is from.
uh, my mother was Irish, my father was English.
Irish, English.
Yeah. So I'm 50
That
50, but I'm proud. I'm a proud man of both of them. But I live
can
in,
people in England understand you?
yeah, I live in a
Okay.
place called the middle of England, called Stoke-on-Trent, the Midlands. We have a different accent, like you do in America, different accent from different regions, and it changes.
Yeah. And I've
Uh,
heard between the different classes too. There's a stratification of accents.
oh, I'm proud to be a working class lad, as I call myself. Always have been. Doesn't matter what job I have, I still consider myself a working class lad. Same with my father and my grandfather, and then before him, and I'm proud. I don't imagine anything too great. I'll just try keep humble, use your manners. You won't go far wrong.
Okay. Well, there it is, folks.
And that's also an engine. It's the engine how people bring you up. That's the engine of life.
Right, because the people are part of it. They're the pistons, it
Exactly. They're
says.
the pistons.
And so finding the right pistons for your engine.
Correct. People are the
Because the
pistons.
idea is to you
Imagination.
build the engine and you can walk away and it keeps going on its own and generating the community.
Now it's the cooling system, which is the hard one. It's the cooling system. That's the hard one. I found myself, not confrontation with friends, but being, I can put a little bit of steamy arguments, but we've always been good at the end of it. Like, I've seen their side, they've seen my side, but we've been great, great friends still. That's the cooling
Do you
system.
get it in a lot of arguments on YouTube? Like, can they even
Uh,
understand what you're
Not
fighting
really too
about?
many. I've had a couple, but not arguments, not oversteamed, even with a lot of friends who are
Probably
still,
bricky.
and they still talk to them. They're still great. They're still fantastic.
Yeah, I told you
And
we're
I spent,
growing, dude. Banksy's here.
you
We're
got
we're
them.
we're
Keep it real. Keep it who you are.
we're breaking through.
But it's, constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is the best. If you haven't got constructive criticism, you won't move forward. You can't look at yourself.
There's criticism, like legitimate criticism, that's given to try to help your channel be better, and then there's
Hmm.
manipulative criticism that's given because they want your channel to be something that they want it to be, but it's not necessarily what you're trying to get your channel to do.
No, it isn't. It isn't. I mean, I'm not a liar. WASP. No, I'm not the artist from Bristol. I wish I was,
Oh, well,
but I
you
do
could have
like it.
kept the
No,
bit going until the
I'm
super
sorry,
chats
man.
rolled in.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it, but
Oh,
it's
you
better
are the
be.
super chats.
I'd rather be honest and open. Uh, but to be honest, he is one of my heroes. Why?
But you do know him.
Oh,
Does he know you? Is he like, hey, you're
it's
the fake Banksy?
slightly something. It's not just one people that helps
I
fun.
know that dude. That's the dude that thinks he's me.
No, it's a big thing when you look at Banks's artwork and you look. It takes more than one person to do that artwork. More than one person. He
I don't
might do
think I'd even
artwork,
know a Banksy if I saw one.
amazing art, but it's usually saying something. It's got a story about it, political or non-political. It's got a story about it, and what he thinks or others think. It's just that they dare not say sometimes.
So he was kind of blogging before the internet through his graffiti.
No, not really. When he straight went in his graffiti, people couldn't work out what he was, who he was, what he did. He was saying something. He was making a statement. The only way he can do it is visualization. The statement is actually the picture. It's visualization of the picture. It's the same with the
Yeah, I'm
channel.
looking at some
What's
of
the
it right now.
visualization? I mean, he doesn't do it for money. He's done it for a couple of times for money, and
Do we
that's
do we know what he looks like by now? Does
oh yeah,
anyone?
I know what he looks like.
Oh, is he cute?
He's got glasses. Tell you that.
That glasses could be sexy on the right person. Ooh, I
To me,
like this from the Clash. That's
I,
from London Calling.
yeah, I think Banks he's got an art of gold. I mean, he has done stuff for money, but he's done it on things like orphanages or people that need money. He's done it, and they've sold the part of the house because they've got his artwork on there because it's worth that much money. But he's done it for the right reasons. He doesn't think about himself. He'd rather think of others first. So he hasn't got a big ego. He doesn't need a big ego. I
To
mean,
do art. You think
I
you
love
do to be
artwork.
creative?
I said, your artwork
I
is
mean,
your
that's the
artwork.
power of God. Like, it'd be very tempting to not have a big ego. You're
But
creating out of
he
nothing.
hasn't though. He hasn't got a big ego. That's what's amazing about it. I mean, if you look at one there, the girl with the art, the balloon, they sold that Christie's in London a good 4 years ago. He was sitting in the audience, no one knew who he was, and he tried to shred that work of art because he didn't want to make money from it. Then, because the shredder stopped a quarter way through, it made £1 million on the top of it called Love Down the Pan, which that's what he didn't want that. But he's a good guy, but he's constructive like you. You're constructive, man. You'd be surprised.
Well, I am trying to construct.
You'd be surprised. I don't really talk to too many people on YouTube on panels. And the only time I come is if I like you. Secondly, if you're positive about things. Thirdly,
Dude, I worship the devil.
it's one of them.
Take
Hey,
care.
I worship a lot of things. If you worship the devil, that's up to you, not to me. I wouldn't tell you what to do and what not to do. That's not my
I mean, you
job.
could tell me it. I don't feel
No,
obligated to do anything.
I would never tell or ram any religion down anyone's throat. That's not in my power. It shouldn't be in anyone's power. Thank you very much. Yes, yeah. Banks is down to earth. But why should that is the engine. That is the engine.
Imagination, division.
The engine is what you just said. You said tennis. I don't understand it. I wouldn't try to change that engine. Why should I paint? Why should I move a part of an engine what fits and it works perfectly? Why should I need to move that? That's what makes an engine run. You might put some like me, I've got my car. I do a lot of performance cars like my Evo. If I change something, upgrade it, and people go, oh, that won't work, but it does work. So why should I change it? It's as simple as, it's easy as. That's an upgrade. That's just a performance part upgrade. Well, you get other people that say, oh, that won't work. And then when it does work, they go, shit, that works. Yeah, because they don't have imagination to see that.
I never know what's going to work or not till I try it. That's why I'm so experimental.
Exactly.
Let's see if this works. Well, let's see if this. I'll try this. I don't know. Is this going to work? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's try.
That's the same as an engine. Like you said, that's the same as an engine. What happens if you say put different spark plugs in an engine? Because you've heard about something thinking, well, let me try this spark plug, see how it works. And if that spark plug runs absolutely perfect and it pairs and it's not misfiring, but the one before that's supposed to be for that thing is misfiring, that means you need to see something out of the equation. It's either people or common senses. There's an issue there. That's a misspark. That's people. Well, like I say, that's constructive criticism. Don't change who you are. Always be yourself. You will never screw up.
Well, there are some things I want to change, but I'm learning to do that. You replace it with better thing. You don't necessarily change the undesirable behavior. You just create new behavior
Mm-hmm.
that you can switch to, and the old behavior can be left to take care of itself. You don't really have to do anything with it. You just have to find better behavior to replace it
Exactly.
with.
I mean, I've been some dark places. I mean, I've been around YouTube for a good, 14 years now.
How much?
About 14 years.
Oh,
This is not
wow.
the original channel. The original is still there. 14 years I've been around. I only made the channel because I wanted to talk to people like you, or when people on chat and I wanted to say hello to them, I wanted to talk to them about something. And I found myself watching YouTube so much, thinking, hang on, I am got a voice. So I need to make a channel so I have a voice. So I did. This is
Do you,
me second channel.
do you think it's an addiction?
It can be. It all depends how you use it.
Right, that's what
I
I
mean,
think.
I used to go on, when it first started, I got bit by the bug a good 10 years ago. It's like every day I've got to be there, every day without fail for a good. But I found myself doing like finishing work and doing 5 hours, 6 hours, not getting me sleep. And it was an addiction. But something clicked as this addiction is not really good for your health, not good for your mental health. So I found myself walking away from it and just doing what I'm doing now. Every now and again, I'll do the same thing. I'll do a live stream every now and again, usually weekends because of work. Or when I see someone that I think is interesting, I will say you, yeah, I will come on and say hello because this construction, it's like not a bug, but draw towards people that can understand themselves. Like you say, criticism, you try and change things yourself. That means you know you need to say something yourself. But at least you're trying. Better try than complete not try anything at all and fail.
Kane, are some pistons better than others? We're trying to find like the gold-plated deluxe pistons.
So you have to some
Like
Ford ones.
the higher quality piston, the better the engine is. Is that
Yeah.
the how it
Forged
works?
pistons, some forged pistons, they're epic. Forged pistons, lightweight.
Because I guess the engine is only as good as the pistons that are in it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're trying to not gatekeep and not draw a boundary, but set a standard and use that to identify when we found what we're looking for. And I think we are. I think we already are finding it.
You'll get that, but to me, you're on the right path because you question yourself every day. You're on the right path because you've got to question yourself to change something. If you don't question yourself, that means you're going to go down the same road every day without taking a left turn or right
Well,
turn.
that's part of the criticism because I usually do question myself. But sometimes when I just know that a thing is the right thing to do and I'm certain of it, then that's the time to stop questioning and just commit. And
Correct.
then the questioning ends. And then that's when other people start questioning me instead. And so the times when I stop questioning and I do take a firm action and just stand by it is the time that other people start the questioning instead. It jumps to them.
Go with your gut.
I
Go with your
do,
gut
but
sometimes.
sometimes it's not the same gut as everybody else.
I know people do warm to it. I mean, I've done numerous times, and man, you know this. I mean, you just said the times you change things as people they're not used to it. It takes them a bit of time to warm to it. But when they do get it, when they warm, the should warm from like, they know who you are, you know the person you are. That should not change whatsoever. It shouldn't change whatsoever. If you decide to change I say go a left-hand turn and go, I'm going to change a little bit of this and tweak this up a bit. If it doesn't work, do you want to go back to the same of what you thought you were doing right with your gut? And people tell you, don't listen to your own gut. That's you know what I
I
mean?
know. I
You
always
got to
get
go
in
with your
trouble
own
when
gut.
I don't listen to it.
I do. I
Almost
used to do
every
quite
single
a lot.
time I'm in some mess, I can trace it back to not listening to my gut.
Yeah, I do that I used to do that quite a lot. I don't do no more. I go in my gut now.
I mean, the gut's probably thinking, "You idiot! I'm the gut. This is what I do. Why don't you listen to me? That's my whole purpose. Don't override me."
You'll always you go with your gut. Like I say, BRL. When people meet me, they know I am the person that you see on what you on YouTube. And I've never let them down because I've always gone with my gut. I've changed things over so many years. I've said something maybe they don't like, but I've gone with my gut about something. And I've not backed down. I've gone with it. And I found these people appreciated what I said. They didn't leave. They just worked out, this is me. I'm not going to change. And that's it. Accept the way I am. Accept me the way I am. If you don't like it, there's the door. I'm not pointing a gun to your head and saying, stay here. You've got to go with your gut sometimes. I don't think anything about subscribers, like people leaving. You've got to be honest to yourself. If you're not honest to yourself, you lost everything. You lost your own integrity. Never lose your own integrity to anything. If you understand what I'm saying.
I think I do. I think
Integrity is
leaving the
everything.
job was one way of not losing my integrity.
That's it. If you're in a
I'm
job,
pretty good about that because the integrity is one thing I've always managed to maintain.
good.
Not that it's perfect, but it's something very important to me, and I have to be able to lay my head down at night and sleep. And that's how I keep my integrity. If I do anything that keeps me from sleeping at night, then I know that I violated my integrity somehow. And I hate that feeling. So I go out of my way to make sure whatever I do during the day, will I be able to sleep at night if I do this thing?
See,
And
Jen,
I
you're
usually
a
do
good
the
man.
thing that will let me sleep.
No matter what you say about things, you are a good man. Keeping your integrity is that's what if God keeps you awake, it does with me. Keeping your integrity means a whole lot to me. I don't. If I lose that, I
I
feel like
do
I've
it
lost
because
myself.
it feels good internally. It
Yeah,
feels better to have
exactly.
integrity than to lose integrity. And it's kind of like being I don't know really good at a musical instrument or a video game or something. You want to keep that up. You don't want to
Yeah.
start slipping and being less talented than you're capable of. And so if you're able to achieve a level of integrity, that's something that you want to maintain because you feel good that you have it.
That's it. It makes if you've got a gift, keep that gift. Keep working on it. Keep that gift. No matter what people say about you, that's your integrity. Keep that. Don't let no one slip that way from you.
I try.
Keep your
Yeah,
integrity.
sometimes it comes with a price, but so far I
Yeah,
think I've
it
been
does,
pretty
but
good
it's
about it.
worth it.
But
It's
maybe
worth the
that's ego.
price. I'd rather pay the price, to be honest.
Oh, good track. There was someone here today actually asking about you, so
Oh,
I'm
hello there.
glad you made it out of the woods. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. That was so cool.
I missed that. So that were you on live today in the woods? I was out, buddy, so I couldn't get to you when you did the live stream earlier. I was out. I couldn't jump up.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
well, I'm gonna start doing like 3 or 4 a day, so there'll be plenty. My ambitious goal is a 24-hour stream, but I might work up to that. That's gonna take the right team in place.
Yeah, you're gonna need that.
I did it
Yeah,
during COVID with Zoom. I've done it before.
yeah. I had the I was working during COVID. I had to go to work, basic essential worker, no matter what. In fact, I was putting things on freight cargo through to your country in the USA. That was part of my job.
Oh yeah,
Essential
that
worker.
was important.
It's airport. And I'm glad I did. That was my job. But yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
I
You kept
I've actually
society
done it.
going.
I've done a 3-dayer once with me and my friend. We did a 3-dayer all night, 3-dayer, 3 days and nights of it. It was crazy, absolute crazy, but it was worth it. It was funny. It was drawn out, but it was worth it. Had a lot of funny laughs. Chat was fantastic on it. It was amazing. I wouldn't do it again. I would not do it again. Well, I think your topic tonight is a fantastic one. That's a really good topic.
Well, there's a lot more where that came from. So we're gonna do one a day.
See, now that's imagination. Your topic, that's imagination. The engine.
I'm realizing I have a lot of imagination because that's one of the things that gets me in trouble a lot of times. I have a hard time separating it from what's actually like my imagination's gonna make me think way more is going on than is actually going on, and so I have to separate how much of this
Mhm.
is you over imagining things and how
Oh,
much of it is really happening.
that
When it
means
comes mostly when
you
it comes to
overthink.
people, social dynamics,
Yeah.
people's psychology, I tend to really over imagine that kind of stuff.
So you overthink like the rest of us. I overthink things. I find myself always
Yeah,
overthinking
my
things.
brain is
That means you
always
do the
going.
same. Yeah.
It's very curious.
Everyone does that. We all, sometime or other, yeah, I've got one person on the planet that said they don't overthink something because they do. Everyone does. It's imagination, though. That's what imagination is.
Because thinking is part imagination. You use your imagination in thinking.
Correct. That's overthinking. It's your imagination kicking in. So people always use imagination when they say, I've got
Yeah,
no imagination. If they're overthinking something, that's their imagination kicking in.
yeah.
Nailed. Done, isn't it? Nailed. It's done. I mean,
And look here, my guy, Northrop Frye, the guy that I'm drawing some of this from, his
where's
book,
that guy?
The Educated Imagination.
Imagination. That's cool shit.
That's the key is to educate your imagination so it's not at
Yeah.
the mercy of its own self. It's directed towards something higher and it can start to structure something instead of just being random
It can work for you, you're saying.
reactions to
It's going to
things.
work for
Yes, it
you.
could work for you.
Yeah. Going to work for you instead of just being random everywhere.
And I would say maybe
Right?
the developed imagination is what we're going after. And education is certainly part of that.
Not many two books I read. I do read quite a lot of books. Usually James Herbert books.
What books?
James Herbert, he's an author of horror. But good books. I quite like them. I like the details of them. Not too bloodthirsty, just really good imaginational books. Because you don't see it coming until you get to the end of the last chapter. And you go, what the fuck just happened there? I love them sort of books. You know what I mean? I love them sort of books. But you don't see it coming to the last chapter and you go, oh, shit. Shit. That's the sort of books I like. James Herbert is probably my favourite author of all time.
Did he write anything we would know?
Well, the others, you got a film called The Others, and he wrote a book called The Ghost of Sleuth. That is The Others. They made it into a film, The Rats. That was his thing. They made that into a film, The Rats.
The Rats?
The Rats. They made that into a film, The Rats. God, they even had Michael Jackson do the song for it.
Ben. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say you mean like Ben,
Yeah,
but I didn't think
yeah.
you were seriously talking about that. That's the
James
one you were
Herbert.
talking about?
James Herbert wrote that novel.
It's a
called
beautiful
Rats.
song.
But
Like,
James
who
Herbert,
knew it was about
the book is better. The book
what,
is better than the
man-eating
film.
rats or killer rats?
Yeah, the book is better than the film. And he made two novels, The Rats, The Lair, and The Domain. 3 books. So remember them: the rat, the lair, and the domain. It was all about the rats. Great author. God bless. I can't say that. Well, good author. You know what I mean? He's gone now. Gone from this planet. He's probably floating around the space somewhere and on some UFO. But you know what I mean? It's good. He's a good damn author.
Sure. Yeah, we're all going to end up in outer space.
Oh, I'm going to end up somewhere. I don't know where. I'm not bothered, to be honest. I really don't care.
I mean, technically, Earth is in space. So.
Yeah, we're floating around there. We are a big rock just floating around in space. I mean, it's like people, it's like that subject. I mean, am I scared of death? No, not really. It's inevitable. You can't run away from it. So, what the hell? Why should I be scared of it? Not that I won't embrace it, but I'm not scared of it. Can't believe James here, but
Well, I think I'm going to wind down because I have that thing coming up
okay, man.
that I
Hey,
got to get ready for. But if I'm not out with Eddie in an hour or so, I will be probably out later tonight with him.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me,
you
dude.
too. Take
Catch
care,
you,
Banks.
catch you another time, bro. Take care. Look after yourself.
Yeah.
And
So,
all the people watching and the chat. Be safe. Take care.
cheerio. Cheerio, old mate. Old chap. See, I'd make a this is why I can't leave the country. I'm enough of a fool in America. Can you imagine me representing America in some other country? And the attention I would draw to myself. That's an American? What is this weird creature? No, I will stay right here on the internet in my unsafe space where I belong. All right, I'm going to wind down. I'll either be out with Eddie in a bit talking about boundaries and mental health, or I will be out later today, either with Eddie talking about boundaries and mental health, or me doing the storyteller stream. You two, cheers as well. And see you then. Take care, everybody. I feel like I don't have to give these long goodbyes anymore because I'm probably coming back in just a few hours. So, toodaloo.